You cannot even imagine what is happening on the crypto marketplace currently. This is easily the biggest narrative of this cycle. Projecting the biggest narrative of the upcoming 5 years, global war between China and US. This is so good. This is just such a great narrative. Today I will tell you everything that is happening with Niero. I will tell you why you actually should care about this currently. I will explain to you why this will be the biggest narrative of this cycle, easily, or at least of the upcoming couple of months. There is huge opportunity to actually be able to capitalize on it. And I will provide you with some updates on BTC. I'm the only one person on YouTube who predicted last local movements of BTC, right? I was telling you we're going to 75k, we're at 62.5. There's a lot of uncertainty on the marketplace currently. People are shorting, some people are shorting, right? We have reversed. We are going to 75,000 US dollars per one Bitcoin. I was preaching this to you multiple times. I was screaming at you to buy into your assets. Please let me know. Did you actually buy? Did you actually do it? Did you actually pull the trigger? Or will your grandkids actually say, Grandpa, why during the largest financial revolution of the world you were scared and you were not able to grab yourself by the balls and buy, as Stan was telling you? Without further ado, let's start. BTC Chart, we're at 62.5k at this stage. Some people might say that, yeah, we're going lower and things like that. Here we printed the first higher low in the 6 months of price action per BTC, right? We should be printing higher high here as well. Maybe we will go there and essentially continue our movement as well. This movement should be quick, as I was preaching to you. People should not actually be able to get back into the market. They should still be scared. They should still think, oh, it's probably just like this pumpage in order to get our money, and after pumpage there will be dumpage, so I should probably short. Nuh-uh, you're wrong. You need to buy into your assets. And I want to show you beauty of market making. I do think that current situation on liquidation heat map, it can be started in universities. I think you should actually put the situation into museums. It should be in Louvre, it should be in Paris, it should be in Austria, it should be in biggest museums in the world. The beauty that we see on this thing. Look at this liquidation map for BTC for this year essentially. Do you see this area? Do you see how precisely they took all of the loan liquidity out of here? Do you actually see it? It's crazy how professionally it was actually done. First kind of large level of liquidity in terms of loans, it's $46,000. And people who actually were able to enter loan at that levels, not just put the liquidation at that levels currently, but enter there. The last time to actually do that was somewhere in January, right? More than 6 months ago. Just look at this empty area of empty loan liquidity right here. The only way is up. The only way is to breach through these billions and billions of dollars back to $75,000 per one BTC, most likely 80 actually. This is the only way from here. How nicely this empty area. It's like it's a work of art. It's work of a professional. It's a precision of a guy who is doing surgeries. It's just, I want to leak this part of chart. How well this is done from market making perspective. And right now they're reversing the chart back up. And people do not understand. There are no shorts here. They don't have any reason to give you time to get back into your assets. They will be pumping this thing with Swift. They will be pumping this thing quickly. So at the top you would probably start to come back, maybe thinking to buy into some more risk assets, but it will be already too late. You will be already the exit liquidity waiting for another leg up. Some people were waiting for another leg up right here. They had to wait for 6 to 7 months, right? It's crazy, just crazy. So current overview on the Niero situation. Niero did 50 or 60% in one night, pretty much from yesterday, right? Niero, it's such a great thing. Guys, my video from yesterday actually got a small amount of views because probably most of you don't know what Niero is, you don't understand what's happening, it's not interesting at this stage. It's just crazy for me to see these things. It will be so interesting for you. It will be so interesting for so many retail players out there in several months from now. It would be so interesting to you owned at the tops of the cycle. Listen now, lock in now. This is when it needs to be interesting for you if you want to capitalize on this thing. Maybe I actually entered some longs yesterday. And maybe I'm actually up 6 figures in one night from my longs just when I was sleeping. Or maybe not, right? I will be showing to you. I will be showing. Maybe I did that, maybe not. However, if I had done this, the only reason for me to be able to do this was because I was locked in. Was because yesterday I was checking out information on Twitter. I was searching before bed and I saw a piece of information. I saw that Wintermute is scooping up supply of Niero, Cable Niero, for the last 2 weeks. Market cap at the time was like what? $50-70 million, right? So they are scooping up supply through all of the FUD. And two things essentially connected in me. First, Wintermute was also gathering bunch of Pepe before the pump. $3 million, $300 million market cap, $400 million. I remember this vividly because I'm probably one of the very small amount of people in the world who publicly hold, probably actually only the one person, I publicly called long on Pepe the day before the pump. The day before the pump, and I publicly entered the loan myself. At that time it was 20k with 3x leverage, which yielded me 400k in profit at that time on Pepe alone, right? To be honest, I was just figuring out like how leverage works and things like that, right? From one point of view, this is the situation that was happening that kind of reminded me very well. I do remember the post from OKEX Twitter one day before the pump of Pepe. It was the post of Pepe along with Doge, but I do think that these Neros, they're actually flipping the Pepe. Why? Because Pepe Cable was making fun of Shiba Inu, and Shiba whales are talking to Coinbase about Cable Niero to actually get listed there. But I'm probably just front running the whole situation. So this is one thing that I saw yesterday, right? Second thing that I kind of understood that the situation on the market with Cable Niero was very similar to bread. Very similar to bread. Even some people around these teams, like they know each other. They know each other well. They thought of working together as well. So this is just some info I was able to grasp on. But the amount of FUD that it was receiving, it was very similar to the amount of FUD that Brett actually received. And do you imagine my two longs? My Brett long was publicly 300k in profit. I was adding margin. I bought 150k of Brett. I leveraged long to 150k. I got a bunch of backlash like scammer. You were just talking shit about it in order to long it yourself and things like that. At the peak, if I would not be closing this loan, I would be like 900k in profits, right? Unfortunately, I closed it beforehand, but the peak scenario, the peak profits was 300k there. So these are my two most performing Memecoin longs ever that I was able to do, right? Yesterday I saw the situation about this project and about two reasons of why I actually entered these, like my two most successful Memecoin longs that yielded 700k, right? Yesterday the situation combined in Cable Niero. Yesterday I understood it. Whether or not I did act, I don't know. We will see. I will be showing this later. But yesterday the whole thing just started to make divine sense to me, right? It just was this quick thought of actually acting, and I figure out over the years when you have these random thoughts that does not feel like they actually coming from you, they just kind of pulled into you because something wants to attract your goals to yourself, right? Because you are sending positive energy into the universe, and the universe is essentially giving back you these thoughts. You don't think about them, you just act on them. Whether or not I did act, I will tell you later, right? Time will actually tell. But this is the crazy setup. And to understand the whole situation, to explain the whole situation, we have Team USA. What do we have in Team USA? We have Niero Cable there. We have Wintermute there. We have Shiba whales that want to fuck Pepe whales as well. We have Wintermute with a case study of pushing Pepe from 300 million to $7 billion. It's very interesting because Pepe is really a narrative for crypto native people. But I doubt that Pepe will be showing same numbers, to be honest with you. Once the retail comes, Niero is much more retail friendly narrative. Shiba Inu whales, They have a bunch of money, they know how to hold, they know how to attract, they know all the partnerships. And Shiba whales, according to the rumor on the street, they're talking to Coinbase to make it China versus USA. It's just, man, it's just so crazy. This is the biggest crypto narrative. And the fact you're not even watching videos about it, it shows how early I am with this thing. I'm probably one of the, well, there are essentially posts on Twitter already with people understanding this logic, but at the time I actually understood this. I probably was one of the maybe first 50 people out there in the world who that were actually able to understand this. What you have in Team China? In Team China you have Justin Sun, crypto billionaire with infinite amount of money. On Team China you also have Binance. Probably there are some other players, but at this stage this is the competition. Do you understand what's happening? Especially with the whole world understanding at this stage that China and US will be entering a global war in the upcoming 5 years as well. Crypto is like kind of pre-sequel to that, and they will be battling over the Niero, over the narrative to be able to dump the largest amount of funds on the retail. Do you understand what is happening? Can you actually grasp what is happening at this stage? It's all on the marketplace. It's just crazy. It's just crazy to see and understand these things and see these things unleashing as well. And obviously, CTO team, $15 million token published on Binance. Nah, I don't think that. Probably CTO Niero actually had some insiders from Binance, right? Because if you're a default CTO team, well, you're not getting listed on Binance. Probably there are some people that are very, very well connected. And what makes me bullish and what makes me kind of actually thinking that this thing can really go to billions of dollars, both of them most likely, which is crazy. Do you actually know something about Second World War? Do you know anything about USSR versus USA? The largest progress, the largest upgrades in terms of how people live technologies, it was actually happening during the wars, when you have to upgrade because you want to survive, you want to win, you want to conquer, right? And during the Cold War as well, between USSR and between USA as well. This will be the key. They will be bringing so new stuff into the marketplace. It would be the best show on this marketplace, just watching what these Niero is actually doing. It's China versus USA before the global war in the upcoming 5 years. Do you understand what is happening? It's just so crazy. It's just so crazy to see. Another the prediction that I would like to give you, that we might be seeing flying saucers in case China and US will really be starting a real global war. Like not some, like bullshit where people are fighting the same way as they're fighting in Second World War. But if it really would be a real war, I do think that we have a very, very high chance to see flying saucers and some technology that's being suppressed currently heavily because there is just no reason to show it to the public as well. Coming back to our thing, the question that you should probably ask, because it's not just the show that you get to watch. This is what excites me the most. Can you imagine, like on their ends, I would push this on purpose. I would make this on purpose. I would make it into this versus battle on purpose, China versus US. Fuck, I'm laughing the same way as I was laughing when people were selling the Pepe after the first pump. Can you imagine how they can actually focus the attention of retail? And how people would actually want to buy the tokens of China and the China version of the Niero and the USA version of the Niero because they want to support each other. Can you imagine how much money would actually go into this thing if I was actually at their place? And this is something that I think because they're in there, so they probably know more information and they're looking a bit further. I do think what is happening is that they're already talking to each other. This is so well constructed, giant psyop. You're hearing this first. You're not hearing it. Some people are telling you about some bullshit altcoins, they got free allocation in, so you would buy into them and they will dump on you. This is golden. If I would be on their end, I would be already talking about really actually plotting and making it into the battle for the whole crypto cycle. This way, they will be milking such a large portion of people out there. And people will be throwing critical amounts of money into these meme coins because it would be China versus USA. China versus USA. It's so crazy. It's so crazy to see. So I would actually on the place of these whales on Binance, Coinbase, Shiba whales, I would be in contact, in heavy contact currently, plotting, thinking like, all right, we push this on Coinbase, so we go up, and then we do something, so we go up, and we do it more and more like China versus USA, West versus East. What's better out there? Divide and control. And rob retail, rob people out of the savings. Make sure that they will invest the money and lose everything here. This is such a great narrative. And at the same time, it's Dodge sister, I think. Maybe I'm actually wrong because I'm not sure like if it's a Dodge sister or if it's like a male or if it's like, I don't give a fuck, to be honest. Such a great narrative as well. Do you see this picture? Do you see what might be unleashing? Do you see how these whales were always kind of silent with all this Memecoin game, and then they come, they fucking aim, they sniper shoot, they kill with one shot. This is so crazy to see at this stage, if this will be happening. But Wintermute getting 7% of the supply, Shiba whale supporting Cable, because I thought in yesterday's videos, I thought that Shiba Cable is actually supporting not Cable Niero, not the US Niero, right? This is the US Niero is Cable Niero, the China Niero CTO Niero, right? Guys, I know it's hard to understand currently, but your kids will be studying this thing in school. They will have a separate theme on the revolution of finance, and they will have a separate theme on China versus USA Niero battle. So you can actually learn it currently to be able to explain them and to be able to tell, yes, I was during these circumstances. I was there when this was happening. And we are living in this giant mansion and we have so many cars because I was actually able to participate. I listened to Stan. I understood the potential of this thing and I actually capitalized on the whole run as well. There is nothing better Memecoin-wise in this space. You know what's actually interesting? I do believe that someone like Crash would really appreciate this idea because back in summer, he was launching a token himself. He was probably the dev based on the fight of Elon Musk and Zuckerberg, right? But the issue with this thing is that they're geeks, you know? And like these diehards, white trash in the US or like Chinese patriots, like working people, they want to essentially throw money on Elon or Zach as meme coins because they are weak narratives, like they're geeks, no one cares about them, right? You don't want to like vouch, yeah, Zach, like Kike has, who the fuck cares, right? But China versus US. It's so crazy to see this thing happening currently. Like if they won't do it, they would lose. So like this is the way to rob tens of billions of dollars out of retail, if not hundreds of billions, if not trillions of dollars this cycle. Do you understand? Do you understand this? The issue with the crypto market is that if you actually want to make like a lot of money from a large chunk of money from billions of dollars or tens of billions, there is really no way because it's very low liquid. This thing would have Binance and Coinbase in the first place attract shit ton of users. Secondly, everyone will be talking about it, China versus USA. It would be even larger than Dogecoin talk because Dogecoin does not have the conflict. It would be China versus USA. It would be just crazy. It would be, people will be discussing this in bars and Team China, Team USA, and some white trash fuck is trying to beat the shit out of another white trash fuck because he's pro Team China for some reason. It's just so crazy. It's such a great thing. Like you can really rob retail out of trillions of dollars this cycle if you would actually plot this and if you would actually support this and if you would actually be pushing this. This is just so crazy. This is so crazy to see at this stage. This is such a great narrative. I do think because first of all, they're probably quite smart themselves. Probably like definitely smarter than me in this case in terms of like this market making. They were pushing the two projects and things like that. Secondly, there is also business value. You have Binance, you have Coinbase. They don't give a shit. All they give shit about is commissions. Commission, baby. It's like in Wolf on Wall Street. Who the fuck cares about the clients? No one cares about the stock going up, down, or sideways. Brokers are taking home hard-earned cash. Commission, baby. This is what they fucking care about. The only thing out there. And liquidating people on their leverage as well, right? Do you imagine the amount of users? This is the best marketing campaign. You know, I like things in crypto that actually have huge business value for the underlying businesses. These are two largest businesses out there, two largest exchanges, right? Binance and Coinbase. What can be better than pushing a meme coin from both ends? Which is the narrative of Dogecoin, sister of Dogecoin, with the narrative of China versus US. This, man, like you can rob trillions of dollars this cycle from this thing. It's just so crazy to me. Just like I can't believe, because with some things I'm essentially, the reason I'm laughing because this kind of sequence, it comes to my mind as I'm recording this video for you, as I'm talking about this, as I'm thinking about this as well. This is such a great, like, if they're not planning to do this, just show this video to them. Go get the fucking CEO of Binance, go get the fucking CEO of Coinbase, show this video to them. They will be attracting hundreds of millions of people, billions of people in case of Binance, because they're from Asia and there are just more people, right? That will be attracting trillions of liquidity. I do think, to be honest, they understand this. Justin Sun, maybe some of them are just at the stage of the understanding of the fact that Niero is the best narrative this cycle, right? I do think that some people in Cabal, in USA Cabal, they're probably at the stage of understanding the versus thing. They're probably at this stage currently. This is like, there are no meme coins. There are no meme coins out there. Like the meme coin game will be finished after it. It would be, because you're taking the meme coin game and you're turning it into a show. And you would be able to do different things in the process. You publish, like, you push it there. You had these artists talk about this Niero and this and that, and who's Team China, who's Team US, what is happening. It's crazy good if they would essentially be doing this. And it has business value as well. And it's some entertainment. Such a crazy narrative. So I'm probably talking for quite some time already. I gave you all the overview of the market. I just wanted to share this scheme with you. I think this is just next level plotting and next level, like, if this will be unleashed on the marketplace, man, it's just so crazy. Thank you very much for watching this video. I'll be seeing you tomorrow. Bye bye.